Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Dyucrane, and this is another video on Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the most efficient method in order to complete the ARR relic weapons. If you're a completionist or a collector, like I am, I already have 8 of the 10 weapons. The last 2 I need are Black Mage and Summoner. I did them in pretty much an order of the tanks first, and melees, healers, range, and then finally the spellcasters. But the preparation that you'll need for this method is to have already completed at least one of the relic weapons from ARR and Heavensward. Why that is because you will need these 4 quests on the side here: Method, In His Malice, A Pawns of Flesh, Labor of Love, and A Treasured Mother. All 4 of these quests give 1 item in order to complete one of the steps of the ARR relic weapons quest line. Now, to complete the Atma stage, where you have to collect Atma in each of the zones, when you have that quest, I just collected 10 or 9 of each Atma, so I can get all the weapons all at once. So you want to do these quests alongside the books once you get them, and the book order does matter. First, you want to do Fall, Wind, Fall, Earth, Fire, Fire, Wind. And then the last 2 books, Another Fire and Another Fall, don't really matter because they won't have quests. And the most efficient way to complete these books is to do the Fates first. And to do the Fates, don't use third-party programs like Sonar, which track Fates. And so you can like travel, data center travel, or just server transfer to the server that has the quest and then just go there and complete it. Alright, first I do the Fates, and then I do the dungeons, and then I just do all the zones. Each book takes me about 10 minutes to complete. So having to complete 9 books, that's 90 minutes, which is an hour and a half. So you'd take about an hour and a half to finish this, but maybe 2 hours. A max of maybe 3. If you're lazy and you do stuff like in between, like your dailies or your weeklies, it's gonna take all day. But I have completed an AR Relic questline in under 1 day before. And that's only because I have all the items necessary already. Which is in here. I have, my Superior Enchanted Ink, Perfect Pounce, all the perfect items. My Alexandrite is ready. Sacred Springwater, Bombard Core, all the items that you would need for this relic questline I already have. And these, of course, is the cutoff for the Heavensward relics, which you also need. So I have a list similar to this for every single book, and this is how I complete it. So I do the Fates first, and then I just change the color, signifying that I completed it. And then the dungeons, mark those off, and then I just go down the list, go with the Central Highlands, all the Lenosha areas. I skip Mordona for last because that's where you need to go to get to exchange your books anyways. So then I do all the Shrouds, and then Thanalan areas, and then finally Mordana. So what I do is, instead of doing leaves one by one, I just leave the leaves in their areas that they're designated. So like for Coether Central Highlands, I'll do the leaves while also killing whatever I need to kill in that area. And the same thing for Mordana and North Thanalan. And then I just do that for every single book. So after you complete the first book, you'll already have completed the first half of Papana's questline. So go ahead and turn that in. And then get your second book. And as I said, the order does matter. You want to do Fall, and then the second is Wind. Okay, once you're done with the second book, these 2 quests should be completed. So go ahead and grab your third one. Alright, once you're done with the third book, you should have the first half of Labor of Love done, so go ahead and turn that in. And then, grab your fourth book. Which will be Earth. Alright, so after you complete your fourth book, these quests should be completed. There's nothing to turn in, so just go ahead and grab your fifth book, which will be Fire, the first Fire. Alright, once you're done with Fire 1, the fifth book, you still won't have anything to turn in, but you'll have these quests completed. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the same. So go ahead and grab your sixth book, Fire 2, which will have some dungeons needed to clear. Okay, you have some options with the sixth book. Either you can choose to do the Wanderer's Palace first, talk to him, and then get the second quest, which is Copperbell Mines Hard, and then just turn it in after you're done with the sixth book. Or, like, it really doesn't matter, you can just complete all the dungeons and then talk to this guy, because the next book also has Copperbell Mines Hard. So go ahead and get your seventh book. Okay, so you're done with the seventh book. You go ahead and turn this quest in. And books 8 and 9 do not have anything else from here. However, you want to do these two quests in conjunction with the Heavensward Relic. So Snowcloak would be the first dungeon, so then you complete that quest line, and then Sastasha Hard would be to finish Labor of Love. This though, this Hullbreaker, Aya, and Tempter Deepcroft you can do like anytime you want, like even now. But I just wait until I'm done with all the books. That's how I do things. Okay, so once you finish all the books, you go to this guy. Do a Atma enhancement. This is the Stardust Rod. Scene can't be skipped, so go ahead and just keep clicking. And after you're done with all the books, just go up to the point where you'll need items from these quests for the rest of the relic. So I'm gonna need 3 of these for the Bear Scroll, because I need space to fit all the material. Okay. Alright, so now we got this. So now we lake farm. And as I said before, light farming is best with Thornmarch Extreme. I have a video that I'll probably post in the description. So here we go. So the perfect Black Mage run would have to be Leyline, Spire 1, Amplifier, Spire 3, then a Blossom. Okay, so after you're done beating up the Mogul King, go ahead and do a Novice enhancement. Okay, so now we finish all that. No, not that quest. We're going to enable toughening up and do this. So I'm also doing the Heavensward relic for the same job. So let me look for it. Should be that one here? No. Animated Luminous Rod. There we go. I'm gonna bind that to Heavensward Relic. And enter Snowcloak. Now keep in mind there is a tip. You can complete this dungeon with your highest eye level weapon, the Flame Cloaked Rod, and then right before you leave the dungeon, you want to equip your relic weapon. Alright, so as I said, right before you leave the dungeon, you can equip your Heavensward Relic and leave, and it'll still count. Alright, so go ahead and turn this in. Get it again for the next. For the last AR relic that I need. But now that I have that on my list, go ahead and disable it, because I'm not worried about it right now. And then right now, go back into Sistasha Hard. As before, make sure you're wearing a relic weapon before you leave the dungeon. And turn it in. Accept. The other time that you're gonna do this. If you're not gonna do this anymore, just don't forget about these extra 4 quests. Now that I have that, labor of love, into that. Now. Or Hullbreaker. Okay, for Hullbreaker Isle, you don't need to switch to any weapon right before you leave the dungeon because, I mean, it's just one of these quests. It's not relic related. Just Sunken Temple Core. Oh, that's also part of this. So there's 3 dungeons for Heavensward. So for this one, you do want to make sure you have the right weapon equipped before leaving the dungeon. And then you have those two. Go ahead and turn it in. Well, this is for the Heavensward quest. Accept it again for the last relic. Okay. Now just continue with everything else. Entirely card. For this dungeon, you don't have to equip any weapon. Just go to Swift Perch, and turn the quest in. Then get the last quest you'll need from this guy. Because he will give you one more dungeon to do. Stone Vigil card. The worst one ever. As before, you don't need to equip any weapon before you leave this dungeon. Just leave and turn it in. And then go to Morgana and turn it in. To him again, just so it's on the dungeon stage. Dungeon stage is good. Now I can delete it. And then camp out by the guy that sells you the Mahatma. And we're gonna go through Thornmarch again, beat more of his ass. And you pray for a light bonus. If there's no bonus, it's fine. If there is a light bonus here, you only need 2 runs. And saving a whole 6 minutes, but if there's not, just give it all 3 runs. It's fine. No problem. Instead of 18 minutes, you only finish it 4 runs. So once you're done bullying the Mughal King, you can go ahead and get your final stage. Now this is very important, and this is why I do the ARR and Heavensward in conjunction with each other. So what you want to do now is teleport to Morgana to trade it in for Umbo Crystal as well, or Astral Crystal. And why do you want to trade it in? It's the only way to let the game know. It's the only way to let the game know that you actually obtained the weapon, since there's no achievements tied to it. And after you let the game know that you actually got the weapon and you worked really hard for it, you can go back to the North Shroud and get whatever glam of the stage that you want. Because you let the game know, now you can get the Relic replication weapons. And I traded all of these in. You know, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 jobs, but because Paladin is using sword and shield, this counts as 1. So there's only 9 here. And my last AR relic weapon is Summoner, which I will work on next. Alright, so now that we're done with the ARR relic, we're going to continue and finish the Heavensward relic by finishing up the dungeons. Okay, as you can see, I'm halfway done. And remember, from all these dungeons, you can go with your highest eye level weapon, and then right before you leave, switch to the relic weapon. Remember that. Just to do a little bit of extra damage. If you get a chance, just during dungeons or like after you're done with dungeons, go ahead and get all the items necessary for the relic quest. So I believe it's 60 of these. I think 75. Or is it 15, 30, 45, 35, 25? Let me see. Singing cluster 50. Oh, okay, 50. I already have a newborn. I can get another one. One of this, one of that, one of that, one of this, another of that, another of this. Aether oils 3. And I believe that's it. Just that, right? Then you continue with the dungeons. Let's go. Once you're done with the Heavensward dungeons, go ahead and do everything you need to. Go to Helix. Just turn it in. I don't know if a man or a woman matters, but I always choose woman. I've chosen men a couple times, but like it doesn't really matter. I would want to hear a woman's voice, nice, I guess. I don't know. Complete. And then with all your pre-assembled items, you go to the Crystal Sand phase. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that in. The Aether oil. That, and then drink fulfilled. That's probably a Crystal Sand phase. sand all the way to 90. And then do, of course, critical hits. Oh, 90. Here you're gonna get bonus sand, so when you get 90, you'll have some crystal sand or umbrite remaining. And, you know, just put it in whatever stat, doesn't really matter. And then go back to Heaven Sword. Sorry, I call it Heaven Sword. It's Helix, but it's the Heaven Sword Relics. Turn that in. Remember, this is a dream fulfilled. You gotta look at the quest name on the side just to know where you're at, what step you're on. Dream fulfilled. Equip that. Get the next one. Future proof. Singing clusters, we still have to go to Idleshire. I talked to Blamprest. And after Blamprest, just go back to Helix. To turn it in, and then you should be on the light farming stage. I don't want to move my inventory window. Then you put that. Born again anima. And you do those dungeons. So once you're done with your dungeons, go ahead and turn them in. Going to talk to this processing node, and finally it's time for animal life farming. Animal life farming. Now you're on that step, you can just chill, unless you want to look into the PF to see if there's a party up. There's probably not going to be. If there is, go ahead and join it if you have time, and of course on to the next relic. Of course, equip my antiquated weapon. Save that now to Relic, and then we'll have him on the dungeon step for the next ARR relic that I will do. And you're pretty much done. After you light farm, get that done, do the trials after, and then you're basically done with the quest, or the relic quest. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you get more ARR relic weapons, maybe all 10 of them. And if it did, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, so this is, if you're comfortable with Blue Mage, you can actually progress most fates with Blue Mage to completion. So don't complete it, of course, but so you can melt this guy. Make sure there's no players around. Try not to kill him, then go into a dungeon. So that will sink, and then go and finish the field. Make sure you have your weapon equipped. And then complete it. Cool. Alright. It is risky, but I mean, you can switch jobs earlier. Like, you can enter a dungeon halfway if his health is half, instead of a quarter like I did.